I thought about it, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I was like, you know what? I make rants to myself all the time about all sorts of things. So I guess the plan is just to put them out on the internet now, for whatever reason, just to mess around. I don't know, I'll probably delete them all in a week, give or take, but I don't know. Something about the night sky makes me think and wonder and kind of process all the happenings of the world in my head, but it's hard in your head because it's hard to follow. When you speak it, it's like a conversation with yourself. So, I thought, why not just record these and post them and see where they go? And there's so many reasons why your face should never be on the internet in a way like this. Never express your opinion with your face in it, you know? You're just gonna get yourself hurt and other people hurt. Um, so, yeah. But I don't know. Something I was thinking out loud to myself about was how so many people on Earth don't really understand how strange it is to see so many people kind of, in a way, laying down their arms in, like, socially in the world right now. Like, I don't feel like there's a big fight for social justice right now. I just think that there's so many young people that are kind of just giving up. Because the whole thing is with people is it's like the whole deal is every problem in the world was caused by the people before you, okay? It's just the fact of the matter is, like, I didn't cause the 2008 recession. I wasn't born, you know? That's not my fault, but there's still so many things that happened culturally and socially and economically and everything that happened that after that event still affect us. Even the people that were born after this. So it's odd because all these young people, and young people are usually the direct forefront. Anything that, like, changes the world and changes how we define culture. So from my perspective, seeing these young people kind of give up on their social, like, on the social justice train, it's very odd. Like, the whole point of being young is to be a rebel, to fight back against the establishment, to fight back against everything from your parents to your teacher to your boss to, like, companies, like, F you, you know? And I feel like how the world got to the point it is today is it's kind of, and I'm gonna immediately sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but kind of just been conditioned in a sense, and not like chips in our brain programming us. That's bullshit. But I just think everything kind of worked out perfect to make it all this kind of propaganda machine, you know? Like, you've got social, and I'm not saying like any of the stuff is evil. Like, social media is a wonderful source and a tool for us to use for small businesses to raise awareness for issues, to like post from your friends, like to just connect with your social circle when you can't see one another, and or like speak with them if there's a chat function. It's very helpful and it helps connect us. But at the same time, the irony of social media is that it also breaks us apart. Because there isn't that physical barrier between us and other people, it makes anything you're saying hold a lot less weight to yourself, the person saying it, and to the person that any other person that sees it. So that's why, like, the things in comment sections are so vile. Like on Instagram, like someone will there's like stereotypes of like, oh, like someone's TikTok video, you'll see a comment that says, now post this on Instagram and see what people say. Right? Like, post this on Instagram. No. Like, Instagram's comments are inherently worse. But that's just because there's no. You don't see this person. You don't see the hurt you're causing. So in your head, you don't think it does anything. You're like, oh, it's just a comment. You're able to just brush it off so easily because to you, it's a bunch of zeros and ones. It's pixels. It's data. It doesn't mean anything. But to this other person, you could say a horrible thing and they'd be like, why would anyone say that? Because why would you? And it's deplorable that people think it's okay to call someone names if it's tapped with their fingers on a screen. Like, you're still saying it. You're just saying it in a way that hurts you less and doesn't hurt the person who feels it any less. It doesn't lessen the damage that you do. It just lessens the damages it does to you. So it's just very concerning because all the social media, there's such a disconnect from you. You don't actually, it's so much easier to just scroll away when in real life, if someone's like dying on the street, it's terrifying. But like if you see a video from someone who's like suffering in a war zone, you'll just scroll because it's not as dopamine rewarding to you. You're kind of like chasing this high of the next best thing, and if people dying is boring, they'll ignore it. And the whole thing is with the electronics, the rise of electronics and social media and this kind of connectivism, is that somehow, in some way, you're connected and disconnected at the same time. You can talk with a stranger millions of miles away. Actually, no, I don't know if you can. I don't know if there are millions of miles. You can talk to someone at the polar opposite side of the earth. You can talk to someone from like if you're in Europe, you can talk to someone from like Chile or Australia or the Philippines or maybe China. Like, there's all these people, but it's so hard to truly get it in your head that these are real people. It's not just pixels on a screen, and people, if they don't want to see it, they're gonna ignore it, okay? If they don't want to see it, they're not gonna look at it. And it's sad, and it's depressing, and either when A, people notice the fact, or B, people ignore the fact, they ignore being involved in not only society, but also just in the necessary discourse in developing your own opinions as an adult. You have to meet new people to become your own person. You have to hear multiple perspectives to figure out what you think is right. You have to hear every side of every story to be able to understand the world. And when people, live in the same place their whole life, look at the same stuff as their friends, they ignore everything going on in the world, it's hard not to want to stay in this little nook of the world that you've got to yourself. Because it's safe, it's not new, it's not going to change. But it's just, it's terrifying. But that's why it's so important, to have diversity in your school, to have classes that talk about the world globally in your school, to talk about race, not have like, oh, we pledge allegiance to the ambiguous flag of the political state. It's just like, take like AP Human Geography and learn about how humans spread across the world. Take AP African, take AP World, take any kind of history or sociology, or just watch videos about it. Like, the internet can become a resource for you to educate yourself. And go outside, go to a coffee shop, go to seminars. You may think it's weird, but the people there are also scared, but being scared together is better than being secluded on your own in your apartment, So that's just how it ends up. You need to meet new people to change and develop as a person. And of course, as you change, so do your goals, and so does what you want to do in life. But so do what you'll tolerate. So, if let's say you have a best friend, let's say you have a best friend and she's black and she's struggling because let's say she's being, like, made fun of at work for, like, basic things like how her hair is, or her nails, or, like, just the way she looks. Like, when you hear about stuff like that from someone you know personally, it adds this edge of, wait, that's wrong to it. Because it's just, and experiencing that, even if you have the privilege of a white person or a person who's, like, white passing, even if you have that privilege, hearing from someone else who's struggling with that still affects you. Because you realize, oh, hearing this from you and how this happened to you, it's having that empathy of, if this happened to me, this is wrong. Something is wrong. And so when people don't have that initiative to think in their head, this is wrong, people shouldn't be doing this, no one should be saying this to anyone. When you don't have that, you tend to just follow along, Like, if the news says something about, this person that said this, but, people make mistakes. Like, if you've never been exposed to that experience or experienced that yourself, you don't realize that's wrong, and you just let it happen because you don't empathize. That's why it's so important to have empathy and understanding for the whole world. Like, oh, this is wrong, and you have to understand it's wrong, because if it happened to you, it would be bad. If you were in a war zone right now, you'd be scared out of your mind. You would be worried for your mom or your dog or your family or your friends. You'd be worried about, when am I going to get my next meal? Where can I find clean water? How am I going to clean myself? Where am I going to use the restroom? All these things, unless you truly experience it, or you know someone who experiences it, or if you educate yourself about this, you won't care. And the thing is, learning about this and taking responsibility onto yourself to care about something as loaded as that is hard, and it sucks. So when you have to do that, it's just, it's just easier to scroll past it. It just is. I'm guilty of it. There's no one that isn't. Like, in the Bible, they're like, oh, whoever has never sinned can throw the first stone. Everyone has sinned at some point in their life, and I'm not one to bring religion into things. I learned this in an AP class. I'm not religious, but no one has ever not done something bad, I'm not trying to preach to the choir here, but it's just like, I'm just saying, this is wrong, and even though I may be guilty of it, I'm aware. And that's what's important, is to know what you're guilty of. To know what are the discrepancies in your life, what are the issues that inherently need solving that you are a problem of. And I'm young, I can't go out with a poster and start shouting for freedom, but I can talk about it. I should be able to talk about it without judgment. And it's just the way social media is, specifically, like, young people don't care. They don't have to. They can just keep on keeping on, Like, no, it's not like they have no idea. Kids have plenty idea. They'll make a joke about it if it fits the social context, but, like, it's just easier to look away, and it hurts less, too. It hurts less to look away. So, we do. And that's why wars take so long. Because people, when they look away, they don't care about whether you get funding. They don't care about if they look, like, let's say, your school board. If the school board has never taken an arts class, of course they won't understand how important it is. Of course they won't understand how it changes anyone. How it makes you different in a way. How it helps you express yourself. How it helps you learn other helpful ways to do things. Like, if you take a painting class, color theory, you can fix a blotch on your face, or you can paint match for your room. Like, it's simple stuff, but it makes you different. It changes you as a person. And on a deeper level, it helps you display complex emotions on a piece of paper with a bunch of lines and colors. And it's very cool. And it's just, if the school board has never taken an art class, how are they supposed to understand how you know how to do that if they don't? And you can say it, but that'll never truly communicate it to them. So, yeah, they'll cut funding. Yeah, they'll tell you to sell your kiln. Because why would you need to fire ceramics? What are ceramics going to teach them to do? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you. Well, then you're not going to get it. It's just a lot of... Everyone is looking the other way to something. Whether you're looking the other way from addiction, or you're looking the other way from a self-destructive family member, or you're looking the other way from your friend who's with her trashy boyfriend, or you're looking the other way from the housing crisis, or if you're looking the other way from a certain war zone in another part of the world, if you're looking the other way from internal politics of your country, if you're looking the other way from an issue in your local school, if you're looking the other way from, like, let's say, like, you're looking the other way from something, okay? There's so many ways you can apply this, but the way it is with social media and teens is it's just, oh my god, we love spectacle. We love spectacle. We love that dopamine from seeing something happen. We're not gonna sit there and just... It's not that we don't want to, and it's not that we're evil people. It's just social media's made it easier to look away. It's given us another way to. Back in the day, you could just turn the TV off, stop reading the paper. Now you can just scroll to the next video, can go to the next post. You can, double it and give it to the next person. Dog, like, just pass it off and shrug it away. And now kids don't have to care. So they don't, because they don't need to. And it's disappointing, and it's sad as a teen myself, because when the kids don't care, no one will. When the kids don't care, no one will. So it's important to make sure the kids care and the kids know that it's important for them to. It's important for them to know the issues in the world. It's important for them to learn that there is any inherent issue in the world at all. That is important, immeasurably so, and for the younger people to look the other way is concerning because it shows a shift in the demographic of people. If the younger people don't care about issues and problems, it's just a stereotype, the rebels fighting against evil. They're always young, they're always naive, they're always on a quest, and then on the course of the quest they discover something about themselves and who they are. Whole point of life is when you're a kid, you're on a quest. You're on a quest to figure out who you are, so when the clock strikes midnight on your 25th birthday, you can, you develop your frontal lobe and you become a functioning human, okay? That's the point. That's the point of this all. It's to be a person and to live and enjoy the complexities and beauty of life. You can't enjoy that through a box with a bunch of pixels. You have to go out there. The issue is when you don't care about problems, they get worse. So the housing crisis might get worse. The issue with inflation might get worse. And when money inflates, money gets tight. And you can't afford to go out and do stuff now, because when you were a kid, you didn't care, you didn't fight for it. And the issue is, the people that are fighting for it are labeled as dramatic or drastic or crazy or stupid or insane. And out of inherent shame, they give up. Because that's what you wanted them to do. Because it was boring. And it wasn't a spectacle. And it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but it happens and people do it. I don't know. I just think kids should care more. And I'm not saying they should give all their energy to it, but know what's going on in your community. Know whether you're enabling those issues directly with actions. Is there an issue with recycling? Okay. Me recycling stuff different isn't gonna help, but it's gonna make me less of a problem, okay? And it's all about making yourself the least problem. And I'm not saying, ooh, if I use this word to describe someone, are they gonna be mad? No. I don't care. You could call me handsome and I'd smile, okay? It doesn't matter, and that's not what this is about. And it's not relevant. The issue is, global warming is real. COVID-19 is real. All these new diseases that are coming out are concerning and scary. And it sucks when I was a little girl coming home and hearing my mom talk about the death count. And this isn't my mom's fault. It's other people's fault for wearing a mask. That's why I wore a mask. It's all about making yourself less of an issue and not becoming part of the problem that helps solve it. Issuing a mask mandate was like one of the most important things anyone could have done. And so many states didn't, and they saw the most deaths. That is a direct correlation. And it's concerning because kids don't care. Like, it's been a year since a very concerning conflict started, and nobody seems to care. It's like, this meme that, what was his name? His name was like Stanley or something. We are all effed, and nobody seems to care. And it's not that we're effed, it's that people think the world is so bad that no matter what happens, I'll never save the world by recycling different. And it's like, no. Don't let the problem happen by becoming part of it. Don't be ignorant on purpose. Don't be ignorant just because you don't think it will matter. Everyone mirrors one another. If someone thinks you care, then be like, maybe I should care. And, it's sad because you have to scroll to the most positive comment of a comment section or something. Like, that's the kind of person a lot of people should be. Not just let the bad happen, but just to not be part of it. Okay? Like, it's not that bad. And the issue is people aren't fighting for my... And I know there's people that are, and I'm not trying to minimize that and their accomplishments and all they've done so far. But it's just... There's so many bad things in the world, and it's just not hard to be saddened and let that sadness carry with you into how you view the world. But instead of letting it do that, I think people should, I don't know, give people a compliment when you walk by in the hallway. Text an old friend. Tell your mom you love her every now and then. Give her a hug. Hug your family. Hug your friends more. Build that kind of underlying positivity and that sense of community with other people. So that when an issue comes up, people care. Because you're like, why do I care about... I'm just putting names in. Why would I care about Becky? She doesn't even say hi to me, Why would I care? Or like, I know, this girl's boyfriend is pretty, he's pretty mean, but, we don't even know each other. Compared to, oh, she says hi to me in the hallway. She seems really nice. It sucks that her boyfriend's being such a terrible guy to her. And, I think we should, talk to her. And then if she doesn't want to do anything, we should probably, talk to a teacher. It's that kind of subtle initiative and spreading joy that helps people notice when you're struggling, when you have an issue. And when people just don't care at the basic level, it spreads on the whole world. I know there's a lot of people who are so easily cynical, where it's like, oh, the whole world's burning. Who cares? That's why. The whole world's burning because you don't care. You're just staring at the fire and blaming it. You're blaming the fire to burn when you have a fan in your hand that just happens to be blowing over there. You're spreading negativity and thus causing it. That's how this works. So, I don't know. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's just weird to be sitting there and pointing fingers at one another and to be so divided, when instead you could just point to the issue and just say, how can we solve this? Instead of, whose fault is it? Who has to pay for this? Figure out how you're going to fix it. Move past that. We can figure out how to pay for it when the invoice comes in, okay? We need to worry about this now. The house is on fire. I don't care what company is going to rebuild my house. I need you to call the police. I need you to call, the fire department. You can't blame, let's say, the thing, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, blah, blah, blah. Instead of blaming the house for breaking or the stones, blame the person that threw them. Okay? Be like, hey, why are there so many microplastics in the ocean? Oh, people have to stop using plastic. Start using renewable stuff. Maybe point at the people that are making the plastics and ask them to reevaluate it and to solve this. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I think some conclusions from this are, one, the younger generations need to care a lot more for how the world is, and they need to just kind of look up from their phone and speak with people and learn about the issues in their community, locally, regionally, and globally. Oh, I burped, excuse me. Oh my god. People need to extend that kind of care to everyone. People need to spread love, because when you spread love, you get it back. And no good deed goes unpunished. Do the good deed anyway. I don't understand. So many people are mean for no good reason. And I know hating's free too. But if hating is free and being nice is free, why are you doing the stupid one? Why are you being mean if being nice is just as easy? You know? Just a thought. And then I think people just need to, if they're gonna use their phone, just use it as a tool to find that, you know? Don't let yourself get lost in all the content in the world. Just yawn. Gosh. Instead, I don't know, dog. Read the news. Get educated. Love yourself. Do the right thing. There's so many things you could do, and so many people don't do the right thing, and it's really embarrassing for them. Just a thought. And then, what was the last bit of my piece? Let me think. I don't remember. Low-key don't remember. I paused this to think for a good minute, and I don't remember it, and I'm gonna play it back, and I'm gonna be like, shoot, that was it. But I think I'm done. I think I'm all out of gas. I'm out of steam. I do this every night, though, so it's fine. As long as I record it, it'll be fine. Whatever. I'll look at this later, and I'll record the second half for it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I feel like it. But, yeah. Oh yeah, just don't be part of the issue. If you're mad about something, don't let yourself be part of it. That's all. It's easy. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt you. If you're mad about, people always scroll away from these videos and then you scroll away yourself. Yeah, no one's completely innocent, but maybe just turn the audio off, flip it over, and come back. Grab some water and come back, and it'll be done by then. That's all. And I'm sure it's stupid. And not a lot of people tend to care, but it's important. Part of being a human. But it's not that bad. And people act like it's so much more painful to care than it actually is. That's all. Be safe. Be safe. Have good vagina. I love ya. Be safe. Do your best. Give your 100%, even if it's only 20%. Love others. Love that you love others. Eat good food, because good food is good for you. Hug your family, hug yourself, hug your dog, hug your fish, hug your sofa. Listen to jazz. Listen to relaxing music, and often. Watch documentaries, take your time to learn, and good morning, good afternoon, and if I don't see you, good night. Bye. Love you. See ya. Bye. Bye.